You can eat this blueberry cheesecake even on keto. Heads up, while this recipe is simple, it is very time consuming.
The first step in any good cheesecake recipe involves bringing your cream cheese to room temperature. So I've had these 5 blocks, 8-ounce blocks of cream cheese out on the counter for several hours.
Okay, we're going to start in our food processor with 1 1/4 cups of almond flour. I'm adding in 1/4 cup of confectioners Monkfruit, and then 1/2 cup of chopped pecans. I've already melted 6 tablespoons of butter and let it cool down to where I could touch it. And I'm going to start drizzling it in. Once everything is all chopped up and combined, we're going to drizzle in the butter really slowly here, and just the steady thing until you see it kind of start to clump up. The goal is to have kind of a chunky mixture here that's going to stick together and make a good solid crust. I've pre-buttered my pan here all the way up the sides with just butter, and I'm going to dump all that crust in there, and I'm going to smooth it out with the back of a spoon. I'm going to go all the way around with it, and I'm also going to go up the sides a little bit, as much as I can, because you don't want to have any gaps in the bottom, but you want to have it up the sides. And my oven is preheated to 350 degrees. We're going to bake this for 10 minutes.
Okay, those 5 blocks of cream cheese are in my mixer. I've got my new scraping paddle on, and we're gonna cream these and hope that they don't jump out the pot. Oh, staying down. Okay, once they're kind of mixed together, I'm gonna add in some other ingredients. I'm gonna add in 2 cups of confectioners Monkfruit, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, and 1 tablespoon of vanilla. Now, y'all probably aren't used to seeing me actually measure out things like vanilla, but in a cheesecake, the consistency is so important that I actually am going to measure it. And I'm really hoping that the powdered stuff doesn't fly everywhere. In fact, I'm probably going to put on my little guards here to kind of keep it contained. I'm not going to clip them together and do all the things, but I am going to at least put them on so that it doesn't fly everywhere. Now let's see. Fingers crossed. It's still flying everywhere. And I'm going to drop in eggs 1 at a time. Don't ever crack eggs directly into an existing recipe, because a bad egg will ruin 5 blocks of cream cheese. Same thing with shells. That way I can get the shells out of my little bowl, my little ramekin, instead of... I'll let this fully mix. My crust has cooled. We're going to pour it in there. See how nice and creamy we look in here? Okay, my crust is completely cooled, like enough that I can handle the pan, touch the crust. This is why I say this is not a quick and easy recipe. This is a drawn out recipe. We're gonna pour all that smooth, creamy filling in there. And my oven is turned down to 325 degrees. And we're gonna bake this until the edges are kind of firm, but the center is still jiggly. If you bake it until the center's firm, like in a regular cake, you're going to have an overdone cheesecake. Okay, we're gonna smooth it all out. There's still some lumps of cream cheese you can see in there, but they're gonna melt right in. Like I said, 325 degrees. We did bake the crust on 350 and then turn it down to 325, so. Into the 325 degree oven. This is what you want. It's still jiggly in the middle, but see the sides aren't moving too much? That's it. Okay, fresh from the oven, I'm gonna run a butter knife all the way around the edge. And then I'm gonna let it sit here for an hour. My stove is off, but it's on the stove. That's where I cool things. I'm gonna let it sit here for an hour. Then I'm gonna loosely cover it and put it in the refrigerator for 4 hours. With like 15 minutes left, I'm gonna come back and make my blueberry topping. It's time to make the blueberry sauce. I've got 11 ounces of blueberries in this pot. Any, normal woman will do about 10 to 12 ounces probably. 1/4 cup of confectioners monk fruit. 1/4 cup of water. And then a tablespoon of lemon juice. I'm making blueberry sauce for the cheesecake.
Yeah, for Lynn's birthday.
Yep. We're gonna stir this all up and cook it until it's all congealed. Okay, they're at a boil now, and most of the blueberries are starting to burst. So I'm gonna turn it off and let it cool.
Let's talk about serving size. A serving size of this cheesecake officially is 1/8 of the cake. That is about 8 net carbs though. If you want yours more or less, adjust your size. If you want fewer net carbs, make smaller slices and you get more of them. Pour a little of that blueberry sauce on top and there you have it. Enjoy.